we showed before Florida Project, the Our Gang short. And
Did you enjoy that?
personally selected by Sean. We asked you if we're going to show an Our Gang, which should be. And I guess I just wanted to talk about that because I feel like for a certain generation, Our Gang, also known as Little Rascals, even though these were films from the 1930s, were still kind of present as part of kid culture by being on television in a way that they're not now. So how did you first encounter them, and how did you kind of work them into your practice and aesthetic?
Yeah, well, what you just said. I grew up in the tri-state area, New Jersey actually, and the local New York television, I think it was maybe Channel 11, WPIX, they had Our Gang shorts every day after school, like at 3 p.m. I think it was 3 to 3:30 or something.
So you rush home to...
Yeah, and I just would absorb them, and they just had a real impact on my life.
Because that in that era, you had Eddie Murphy parodying Buckwheat on Saturday Night Live, but you still saw them as kind of direct expressions.
I was a child myself, and I was really digging the adventures that they were getting into, I think. And I also always found, I did find their humor very sophisticated, Those directors also directed, Gus Means also directed March of the Wooden Soldiers with Laurel and Hardy, being one of the early films to break the fourth wall, having, Oliver look right at the lens. I mean, I think it's a really sophisticated comedy. And so in many ways, I think my love of using, humor in movies may have come from the Our Gang series as well.
Did you show them to Mooney and all the kids on
Yeah,
set?
I did.
Did they get them? Did they react?
Everybody always thinks I'm referring to Penelope Spheeris' 1992 Little Rascals when I'm talking about Little Rascals. So I had to always correct people and say, no, there's this whole thing. I don't know, I don't remember Brooklyn and Christopher and Valeria's reaction. I don't remember, sorry. I blocked out a lot of the making of this movie. It was a little traumatic for a lot of people involved, and it wasn't like any film. It didn't go smoothly. So to this day, my partner Samantha, who was the acting coach on the film and worked with the children and with the two mothers because they were basically first timers. She'll remind me of a story. She'll tell me a story, and I'll be like, "That happened? I did that." So, yeah. The BTS behind the scenes actually was very eye-opening to me.
So have you kept in touch with the cast, or also just Florida and the situation there?
Oh, most definitely. Brooklyn is doing amazingly. She has her own show that's on whatever the Apple TV network is going to eventually be. They just shot the first season of, and I'm sorry, I don't even know the title of it because the working title has changed. But look out for it. She's the lead, and she has her own huge series. It's huge. Let's see. Bria is doing well. She is now trying to get an animated series off the ground, actually. Mela continues to dance. She's the mother, the other mom. She's continuing to dance. That's how I found her, actually. Mela Murder, I think she's so wonderful. This wasn't her first role. She was in a short film called Gang that you can all check out on Vimeo. It was one of the staff picks on the front page of Vimeo one day, and I saw it, and she won me over, and so she's continuing to do that, and she also has her own stuff going on the side, not acting or entertainment-wise. The other children, they haven't gotten any roles yet. I think their parents are still interested in trying. But for me, the true success of the Florida Project, it's not like you go into these movies and you make these films about issues and you're hoping that it makes dramatic change. And unfortunately, the world, changes slowly. Right after the shoot, Hurricane Maria hit Florida and compounded the situation. And so you have Puerto Rican families being displaced coming to these motels, so you have even more homeless families in motels, and then you have the Puerto Rican families already living in the motels having to deal with their families back home, going through that terrible time. So I just actually got off the phone with Mary Downey from the Community Hope Center, which was the nonprofit that really guided us in the making of this film. And they're essentially the only service provider for Osceola County. And they're a ministry. They're a faith-based organization that gets their services, Osceola County outsources to them. Isn't that crazy? So they're the ones who are basically providing services to the families in the hotels. They say, it's still an incredible struggle. The numbers haven't changed much. There was a beautification process going on with Route 192, but that was basically for, I think, my opinion, it was basically just to keep tourists there and not to, not to show the blighted side of that area. I do know that the Community Hope Center is very close to opening their own affordable housing complex, so we hope that happens. As you know, we are the entire country is dealing with an affordable housing crisis, and not much has changed the last 3 years since we shot.
So I think for a lot of people, when they think of an issue, right, they think of something that's kind of like as basic as a television movie, flat, not as colorful, not as kind of aesthetically rangy as what you make, but you find a way to tackle these serious issues in, I think, unexpected packages. You're working on something else now that I know you can't talk much about, but people are going to ask. So, what are you up to these days?
Well, I'll answer that in 2 seconds.
Sure.
I just want to get back to, I'm sorry, I don't know if I completed my thought before.
Sorry.
No, it was my fault. Basically, what I was saying about the true success of the Florida Project, and this is, again, has nothing to do with me. This is A24 being an incredible, philanthropic distributor who worked with the Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida. And they worked together, and Rollins College granted Christopher Rivera, who plays Scooty in the film, full scholarship, full 4-year scholarship. Now, Christopher comes from this world. He was actually living in one of the motels when we found him. So for that change to happen, for that child, means everything to me. I mean, that is like, it makes me, I get emotional because I can't imagine any other distributor working so hard to make a tangible change to help for the to work for that so yeah, I'm very happy that that's going forward, and we're going to be monitoring Christopher's along with Rollins College. We're going to be monitoring his the next few years and make sure that he's ready for college. But he's incredibly excited, and so is his family. So we're so happy about that.
Glad we came back to that.
And so, okay,
Yeah.
so then you asked me about the next project.
Yeah.
I don't like, first off, I just, with this industry, you say one thing, gets on social media, and then suddenly, it just becomes this thing where agents and actors are calling you and saying, I want, cast this person in your next film.
So what's the most cryptic way you can describe
Well,
it?
it's in the same wheelhouse. It's in the same wheelhouse, same size, if not smaller. I like to go small. I don't understand why, if I was trying to blow up cars and, if I was trying to do car chases and stuff like that, of course I would want a bigger budget. But I'm making...
You blew up a house in this.
Yeah. By the way, those are gone. All of those condos are demolished. Part of that beautification process I spoke about is demolished. So we actually caught that area during such a moment of change. But yeah, it's a film. I guess it's already out there. I've talked a little bit about it. It's not. People think it's about the opioid epidemic. It's not. It's actually about. It does tackle that, but it tackles it in a way that if some of you know about what harm reduction is and the philosophy behind harm reduction, it's a very pro-harm reduction film. And even one step further, a pro-safe supply film, which if some of you don't know, it's about It's about visualizing and regulating all drugs.
And on that note of audience approval, I think we're ready for questions. If anyone wants to come up to the mic up there.